Gotta go live every day, Monday through Friday. I'm here to stay. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get to it. Today's lesson is to get you people to say, "Hey, I'm trying to build relationships, and I want to know somebody because I have this idea, and I want to get them the idea because I want them to help me." Well, that's not going to develop a strong relationship. So today we are going to explore the 5 key ways to build strong relationships to succeed. And the reason we say to succeed is because relationships are one of the 3 needs of success: network, market, and practice. Networking is all about building and cultivating relationships. So today, we're going to focus on 5 key ways you can build and cultivate relationships. As always, I'm Thomas J. Beleza, so please like, comment, and share the video along with subscribing for future content on how to be successful in your career. Now, the reason we like to share these videos is because the only way we can work together and grow together and rise together is if we elevate those around us. So sharing free knowledge to get people to think outside the box, to find solutions in a proactive way, helps develop your career and others' careers at the same time. Let's get into it. We're going to just jump right to the lesson. Did you see that? Did you see that move? By the way, that was both instinctual and completely by accident. All right. So let's do this. The key to success is building strong relationships over time. It's very important to understand over time. And the reason is because let's say you have a project. Let's say you have a band, you have a movie, a show, you're a comedian, and you see somebody and you go, whoa, they have a particular resource that I could utilize to help me with my project. And you introduce yourself, and within the first, say, 6 months, you ask them to help you. Probably within the first couple of weeks, right? Because you're like, oh, I met you. Thank you for your phone number or email. You did that part right. And then the next day you go home, or the 2 days later, and your follow up is really just going, hey, can you help me? I have this project, or I have this project. I would love you to read it. Or you cold call somebody and say, hey, this is what I do. What can you do for me? Right? But we want to give relationships time. And the reason we want to give relationship time, and we'll go over the 5 in a second, is because we want to develop a relationship where they are emotionally interested in your success. It's like your friends, your real friends, your true friends, and your family who care about you want to see you succeed. They want to put time into you and effort. And the friends we consider close help you, right? If you're moving, you go, hey, buddies, can you help me? And they go, yeah, just get me a pizza. You buy a pizza, they help you move. The idea is that the people that care about you want to help you and get involved in you. So if they don't know you, they don't have a relationship with you, and they don't care about you, they're not emotionally invested, they're not going to help you. So that's why we develop relationships over time. Specifically, key to success is building strong relationships over time. And here are the 5 things you could do, 5 key ways you can help establish and build those strong relationships. Before number one, before you ask for help, offer before receiving. Don't ask till asked. Let's go over that real quick. So before you ask for help, you should be working as hard as possible, and not beyond your boundaries, but hard as in like put some time and effort into it. Offer before receiving. Figure out what you can offer. And 2 examples is volunteering your time or referring them to others. And if you refer them to others, you get nothing out of it. If you volunteer your time, you're doing it in a way that not necessarily is benefiting you. You're not volunteering your time so they help you with your thing. You're volunteering your time to elevate their mission. Okay? So we want to offer before receiving. Because if we give our time to people, if we give our resources to people, if we give our compassion to others, it will develop a relationship which will make them say, you went above and beyond and helped me, and I like who you are, which is marketing, right? They like your brand, who you are, what you represent. They will start giving you their time. Now, the reason we say don't ask till asked is because, again, if you just meet somebody and you haven't earned the points, okay? So in TAC, real quick, TAC, all right? TAC stands for the art of conversation, okay? And the art of conversation, which is a rule set between 2 people. So if I start talking to you and you respond, we're already in a conversation. So there are okay. Tact is the art of conversation, how to have a conversation. And ultimately, you're trying to plus one, minus one. You're trying to gain points in that relationship. And there are certain things that you do that add value to your relationship quickly or slowly. And basically, every time you give, you can give time, attention, awareness, emotion, support, etc., etc. Every time you give back to them, you get a plus. Every time you ask for something, be it ask for their time, ask for their resources, ask for anything. If you ask unto them for something for you, it's going to cost you a point. And if you haven't earned enough points in that relationship, and you're charging, you're not going to get a lot back. Now, obviously, if you have 100 points theoretically into a relationship, you can afford to at least spend 49 of them before the relationship starts getting compromised, because you don't want to go lower than half the value of your points that you've given. All right. So don't ask till you ask. And this is the thing. If you keep building points into a relationship, at one point or another, they are going to ask you. So if you continue to do this, offer before receiving, volunteer your time to help others and those that you're interested in building relationships with, and refer other people to other people, equal value or greater, you're going to build some points. The art of conversation is about building points. So you're going to build points, and then they're going to say, hey, aren't you working on something? What are you working on? Tell me about what you got going on. Aren't you in a band? Aren't you a comedian? Aren't you an actor? And you're going to say yes. And now you don't lose points, because the points you added, they asked you. You didn't ask. And if you don't ask, you don't lose the point. So that's the value of before you ask for help, offer before receiving. Don't ask till asked. It's a good mantra. Don't ask till asked. Put time in. If they ask you, that doesn't mean you can't be proactive. It doesn't mean you can't ask for things. Okay, there's a certain point where if you have enough points, invested into a relationship, you can ask. Obviously, because you have friends where you go, can you help me move? And they say yes. And you have friends that you say, can you help me move? And they go, let me get back to you on that. Okay. Number 2, be someone who offers value sets. All right. A value set is, this is your worth of involvement. Okay. So a value set ultimately is your resource. What do you bring to it? And what is your influence within that resource? So do you have enough influence where people will listen to you? Do you have enough information or value or influence into that particular subject where people gravitate towards you? So basically, a value set is that you can do something, right? Or you have a resource, and people look to you either as the expert, the novice, or intermediate, right? So by having these value sets, okay, and by basically what do you bring to the table, by what it is you bring to the table, and how people look at you at the value of what you bring to the table, be it you're inspirational, you're kind, you're helpful, you're good at camera work, you're good at writing music, you're compassionate, you elevate people. All these are just value sets, and then the value of those sets within it becomes your mobility. So, if you're the greatest guitarist in the world, people go, oh, you got to get that guitarist. But if you're unreliable, that kills that value set, because you have no mobility because of your lack of responsibility. So by having strong value sets, it allows you to know when to lead, when to follow, and ultimately when to advise. And all 3 of those are strong value sets. If you can enter a situation and you know what you're capable of bringing to the table, you should still know when to lead, when to follow, and when to advise. Because sometimes you got to let others lead while you follow. And also, you have to stand up for yourself. Be confident enough to say, hey, wait, I like the idea you came up with, but I have an alternate. Can we discuss a different potential? And if they say no, you're probably working with the wrong team. But if they say, all right, let me hear it, and then they go, all right, that's neither what we want to do, nor is it helpful, that's going to happen. Okay. Number 3. Build a network of professionals. Why do we build a network of professionals? Because the 5 people you surround yourself with become the world you live in. So if you want to be a successful musician and you're hanging out with local musicians that are ultimately just playing local clubs, they got day jobs, maybe 2 jobs, they don't do anything on the weekend other than like just hang out. They practice all the time and they just write music. those are probably not professionals. They're not making a living in their field of interest. They're making a living at a job, and then they just get to do the thing as a hobby. So if they're hobbyists, they're not professionals. Professionals. Same thing with actors. If you're hanging out with actors that aren't necessarily doing it professionally, and by the way, an actor can be making a living within their field of interest, but not necessarily making money acting. They can be working in the industry, and that's professional enough. As long as they are in their field of interest, they are considered a professional in that industry. All right. And obviously, the value set of your professionalism is basically what is your influence within that industry. Okay. Now, the reason we do this, all right, the reason we build networks is because you want to get to know them as people first. So as you develop peer level relationships with successful people in the industry, their aura lessens. It becomes comfortable to be around them. And they look to you as a person and not necessarily a fan, or they look to you as a person instead of somebody that has an agenda to desire something. You want to basically learn to be a peer, right? And then this is the important thing to remember. When you're building a network of professionals, when you're trying to build the 5 people or more around you to become that world, their resources are not there for you. Their resources are not there for you. That goes back to rule number 1. Offer before receiving, don't ask till asked. If you are building a relationship with someone because they have something that they can offer you, you are not building a sincere, genuine relationship. You have an agenda, and that'll flow through your behavior and your energy. Trust me on that one. Okay. Number 4. Oh, we're doing good. We're at 12 minutes. Number 4, be interested in their needs. And the reason we do that is because people don't care about you till you care about them. This is true, right? Because you care greatly about yourself. And that is why you have an agenda. Oh, I have this thing. I invented this thing. I created this music. I do this comedy. I'm an actor. But because I do it, I'm the greatest. I'm the best. I love what I do. You should give me a chance. All I need is an audience. If I have an audience, they're going to gravitate towards me. I'm going to be a huge success. Put me in a movie and I'll be huge. Put me on a show that with a huge audience and my band will blow up, right? Because we care about ourselves. But others don't care about you like you care about yourself. However, because you care about yourself so greatly, the moment other people start showing that they care about you, you start caring about them. Hello, hey, welcome to the live show. So the idea is, if they care about you, okay, you're going to start showing interest in them, and that's the trick. That's the secret. That's the key to success. Be interested in their needs. So, no, I am not. I am wearing a black shirt under a blue flannel. And that's the lesson for today. All right. So the idea is that you need to give them your time, because again, if people give you their time, you start showing interest in them, especially when they start showing interest in you. And this is part of the secret, one of the keys to success. Okay. So just turn that psychology back around and show genuine interest in other people. And we do this by asking open-ended questions to get to know them better, right? We don't necessarily have to go, what do you do for a living? What's your favorite color, right? We ask open-ended questions, sort of like, and this is just a general example. If you meet somebody, you just start talking about how nice the day is, or you start talking about how nice the industry is, or the community, or what's going on. And the reason we do that is because if we talk at people, it becomes uncomfortable. What's your name? What do you do? What's your profession? How long have you been doing it for? That's uncomfortable, right? But if we talk to them in a with fashion, and we open-ended questions just about, like, whatever, talk about something that's happening in the industry, right? Even like, sure, ask the question in the comments and I'll be happy to answer the questions as always. Okay. And then the other thing is, it's not about you, it's about them. Place your time into them and they will return that time to you. All right. It's extremely important to have a valued interest in others for those relationships to build. Because remember, it's the key to success to building strong relationships over time. And the way we build strong relationships is absolutely by allowing others to feel seen and heard by you. And by the way, yeah, ask your question. Just throw it in the comments, and I will be happy to answer it because I love questions. It's one of my things. All right. So before we get on to number 5, I'm going to take a sip of water because you got to be hydrated. All right. And especially if you're watching this on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. Remember to like, comment, and share this video along with subscribing for future content on how to be successful in entertainment. And more importantly, you want to share it because we're trying to work together, grow together, and rise together. We want to elevate the people around us. All right, so here's the question. Boom, here we go. Great question. When you are asked a question that's private, how does one kindly say, let's add the rest of it. It's none of your business. That's a really great question. All right, so again, I'll ask that again. When you are asked the question that's private, how does one say kindly, it's none of your business? All right, so I mentioned it earlier, TAC, right? TAC is the art of conversation. And one of the techniques in TAC is actually to push it back to them. So I'll give you an example. If somebody asks a personal question like, how much do you make a year in music, right? You go, the thing is money, right? And it's just, we're just, as long as we're getting to do what we love, it's important. And what's great is like, what are you doing right now? What you're doing right now with your success and how you're getting involved in the industry. And what I did was I turned it back around to them. So I answered the question vaguely without a dominant answer. Okay, so it's that, I get to do what I love. That's the part that makes me happy. It really, who cares about the money value? And then you throw it back to them. But what you've been doing in the entertainment industry, I love that you just released the blank, blank, blank. All right. And the idea is what you're doing is you're still answering their question so they feel heard. But TAC is all about giving it back to them. And now we get to show that we're interested in them. And that makes them go, oh, I didn't really ask him that question, but I love talking about myself. So people gravitate towards that. I hope that helps. All right. So let's get to number 5. And again, this is the fifth key way to build strong relationships to succeed. Okay. Be open, honest, and genuinely engage in their needs. And the reason we do that is because you are the worth of your actions, not your words. So when you're building and cultivating relationships, and remember, building is establishing people into your circle, and cultivating is adding value to those people. Your job is always to be doing right. They could break the rules because they're not trying to be, you want to be successful. So part of that is to be open, honest, and genuine. That does not mean you have to tell them everything. It does not mean that you have to tell them all your life. It just means open communication, meaning if you feel like you're able to or unable to do something, let them know. Hey, can you do blank, 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 X, Y, and Z? You know what? I can do X. I never really did a Y. Maybe you can show me how to do Y, how you would like it, and I will try it, but I cannot guarantee it'll be perfect. That's open communication. That's a value set, and that makes somebody more interested in working with you because they can trust you will be open and honest with them. The other part of honesty is, hey, how come you didn't get this done? I didn't do it. Bad time management. I did not do it. I apologize. Now, here's a really solid version of honesty. Hey, I know that the deadline was Thursday. It's already Tuesday. I'm having difficulty getting it done. Do you need it on that day, or is there a solution we could figure out? That honesty is just letting people know where you're at. If somebody gets upset with you for being honest, that's on them, and that's not a relationship you should be dealing with. But more importantly, if you can't be honest, you have to rethink yourself and go, why can't I be honest? What is the worst that can happen because I couldn't get something done? But the other part about not being honest is if you agree to do something and by Thursday it comes and they go, did you get it done? And you're like, no. You're not really being honest because you didn't let them know what's going on. And the open, honest communication, they have to know, because what if by Thursday that had to be done because they were doing something else? So you have to be smart about your relationships, and you have to generally engage in their causes, their missions, their needs. Like, show interest. Don't just be silent. Don't just wait until something happens and then go, hey, I see you're working on something. You need me? No, you see that as they're developing things, as they're developing ideas and creating opportunities, get on the ground floor and be interested in helping them. And that means if you can't be trusted, you can't be trusted. The moment someone can't trust you a little bit, they can't trust you a lot. And that's the problem with strong relationships. A strong relationship has trust. So if you can't trust them a little bit, you can't trust them a lot, and that's no longer a strong relationship. So you have to start with the open communication, be honest about your values and what you're capable of and uncapable and not capable of, and be genuinely interested in what they're doing, because if you can't be trusted a little, you can't be trusted a lot. And this is how we help others to enhance their mission, not your gain. So keep that in mind. When you're being open, honest, and genuinely engaged in who they are, their needs, their missions, you want to join the ranks of helping them, which brings us back to this: before you ask for anything, offer before receiving. So volunteer your time or refer them to others by enhancing their mission. So if you volunteer your time, don't go in to benefit you. Don't go in to go, hey, look what I can do. Look what I did. I did this. Hey, by the way, since we're working on your thing, maybe we could work on my thing after. Like, that's not necessarily accomplishing these 5 things. So help others to enhance their mission, not your gain. So when you are involved with others to help them, be present of what the necessities are for that mission, and you will absolutely, without a doubt, start adding value to building a stronger relationship. Because in relationship, people care more about those who care about them. And you can look at that in any situation. Our best friends are not the people we say, oh, yeah, they're my best friend because I just have to listen to them all day and they just tell me everything and just unload on me. No, it's the exact opposite. They're my best friend because I can tell them anything. I can be myself. They're my confidant. I can trust in them to advise me, which means you have to unload information on them. They're there for me no matter what, right? They're my best friend because all that stuff is self-presented. So that's how you build friendships. In fact, a lot of great networking books like Never Eat Alone tells you the value of not necessarily giving outside of your boundaries, like stand by your boundaries, but it talks about the value of giving to others first before wanting to receive. So there you go. Those are 5 key ways to build strong relationships to succeed. As always, I'm Thomas J. Beleza. Please like, comment, and share the video because we are trying to help others by working together, growing together, and rising together, spreading the knowledge. That's why I do these free videos. And of course, subscribe for future content on how to be successful in your career, specifically the entertainment industry. And by the way, thank you for the question today. That was a great question. We do this Monday through Friday. We do it 4:30 to 5 o'clock. We're always happy to have our streaming schedule is Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 5 o'clock. We do a different subject each day that's ultimately about how to be successful. Wednesdays are usually a skill day, a craft day. So we've been the last 3 weeks we've done writing, how to write and how to brainstorm and how to understand acts. But we do everything from writing to comedy to music to you name it. So that's it. Every day, Monday through Friday. Not Saturday and Sunday. No, you won't find us here. We'll be taking a break. We take a nap on Saturday and Sunday. But other than that, I will see you next time. Thanks again. I really appreciate you watching. I appreciate the question, and I appreciate just being involved. So work together, grow together, and rise together. See you next time.